Crystal, pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you.
Yeah, it's great. Thanks so much for spending some time with us today out here in St. Charles, Illinois.
No problem.
So you've been with George for how many years?
Almost 22, 23 years.
22, 23 years?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. And how long have you guys been doing DoorDash?
I filled out for DoorDash 2 years ago when I was in Florida, but I didn't do it until I came back out here.
Okay. And is it really busy on DoorDash?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
That's good.
That's good. And does it pay the bills?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So now you guys are doing so many deliveries every day. How many deliveries do you do a day?
Probably about anywhere from 15 to 16. So I make about $180 to $200 a day.
Okay. Now does he do the same thing?
He'll probably make about 100. So.
Okay, so you make more than him.
Yeah.
You go.
That's yeah.
Awesome. So now off that, are you guys renting a room night after night, or?
I put a little bit to the side because I got car note, I got insurance, I got storage, I got cell phone, I got bills. So a certain amount of money, a certain amount of day I even put 60 to the side for 10 days. That's $600.
Okay.
So, you know.
Nice. So now so you're putting money away on the side to pay for all your bills, and then you
have a certain amount to live on per day.
Okay. And how much is that you need per day to live on?
$100.
$100.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's a comfortable living then?
Yeah, that's enough to put gas in the car, rent the room, pay for food.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Have you tried to get an office job?
Well, due to the COVID right now, because at first before we came down here, George was a prep cook at the beach, and I was the front desk manager.
Okay.
And I worked at the front desk manager 3 years in Jacksonville, Florida. And before that, I was a housekeeping manager for 2 years down in Jacksonville, Florida.
Okay.
So that's all I always ever done. But once the COVID hit and we got the wind that it was going to be a lockdown, I said I'd rather be locked down up north where I'm familiar than being locked down in the south.
Okay.
Because it's totally different in the south.
How so?
Like up here, you have resources, like he explained, his shelters and his nonprofit organization, as far as places like Lazarus House and Miss Mary, the church like that. They give out lunches, food, and stuff like that. But down there, if you're homeless, you're just out there. So you're out there, you don't have nowhere to go. So I'd rather come back where I know the resources. As far as whether I'm staying out here in St. Charles, I can still go to Chicago and deal with Sarah Circle, Cornerstone, different programs that I already know that I already registered with. Okay. That'll get me the help that I need. But as far as down there, they don't get no help.
So when you register with these programs, do they keep you on, you give them your cell phone number? And do you have an address too? A P.O. box or something?
P.O. box.
You have a P.O. box? Okay. Now you pay for that annually or monthly?
6 months is $53.
Okay.
That's not bad.
Not bad at all.
Not bad.
At least you get a key and you get somewhere to go, that you get your
the mail too. Yeah.
Wow. Interesting.
Yeah, so you always got to have a stable address. So
right.
I always had a P.O. box.
So what is the perfect life for you that you aspire to get to?
I'd rather be back in my apartment stable again. Just to have the keys to go in my apartment. I got keys.
You got keys?
I just need another key and I'd be happy with that.
A key for an apartment? What's that apartment look like?
Well, hopefully I would get my stuff in Florida because I have my whole unit in Florida.
Okay.
All my.
But you're gonna get an apartment down in Jacksonville? Or you're gonna get an apartment up here? You're gonna stay up here?
Yeah.
Okay, so you get that apartment. What does that apartment look like? You get to paint it. What does it look like?
I like white walls.
White walls.
Yeah.
But I mean, how many bedrooms?
Me too. It's fine.
2 bedrooms. So what would it take to get that apartment?
I make it day to day. Just a little help from some outside people.
What type of help are you talking about?
I don't know if I knew somebody that could pay rent and security, and I could take it over from there. Okay,
so you need outside help to get a security deposit. Okay, I got it. So you need security deposit. What else? What else does that life look like? What's in it?
As long as I'm happy and stable, as long as I got a place to stay, I'm good with that.
So now, would you, in that perfect world, are you and George both full-time job then? Or you guys like the DoorDash?
I would go into a full-time job. And before I left here, I was working at the Holiday Inn in Skokie.
Okay. Nice. So when you were homeless for 30 days, where were you living at?
Cornerstone.
Cornerstone?
Mm-hmm.
And were you able to stay there for a full month?
It was a 3-month program, but all I told her I needed was 30 days, and I had 2 checks. And once I did my 2 checks, I was back into another apartment.
Now, when you say your 2 checks, what?
2 paychecks.
2 paychecks from your new job that you were able to get?
Yeah, my job I had in Chicago, so I
Okay.
just needed 2 checks to get the
Did you go get that job?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you're a good self-starter, Crystal, to go get your own job, and you got a clear, level head. Most homeless people don't have that. How do they, what do they need to do in order to get that set up to go find a job for themselves?
Most people, it's not about being homeless. It's some people have mental health issues.
Yeah.
So like George told you earlier, you don't know what a person is going through until you talk to them.
Yeah.
Because we don't look like the normal homeless people. We're
Yeah.
not the definition of homeless. But it's some people, like you go to like the places like the Hesse House in Aurora. You go to Cornerstone in Chicago. You go to different places. 10 South Kids, you go to 10 South Kids in Chicago. That's a warming center. That's the definition of homeless. But right now, there's really no definition because there's some people that can be at the bottom, and there's some people living to check.
Right.
Just like if you go to Chicago, Illinois, I think it's off Foster. Go down there off Foster, it's an underground with homeless people, but they work every day, but they stay underground.
When you say underground, on Foster.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I grew up not far from there. Foster,
Lakeshore Drive.
Lakeshore Drive.
Right when you get off, it's a bridge right there, but it's a door. The door go underground,
Oh, underneath Foster?
underneath the city, and they come out every day and go to work.
How big is it down there?
It's big.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Underneath Lakeshore Drive
Mm-hmm.
in Foster.
Mhm.
There's a door.
Mm-hmm.
How many homeless people down there?
I think I saw like a girl. It was like at least about 20, 30 people. But that was 5 years ago. I don't know if they closed it down.
Okay.
But it is cities under cities.
There's cities under cities?
Mhm.
What do you mean by cities under cities?
It's a city at the top, but it's a city under the bottom.
Okay.
That's where the homeless people are. But
Really?
they working every day.
They are working every day.
Mhm.
That life exists
Mm-hmm.
where they have a full-time job, but they're still homeless.
Mm-hmm. Because some people can't afford to pay rent.
Okay.
And some people can barely have the bare necessities to live day to day. They may have a car, they got gas, car note, insurance. They can pay all that, but they may not be able to pay their rent.
Really? Interesting. You're opening up my eyes to a whole new world.
Mm-hmm. And some people, like, they just passed a law, like, they make 15 up here. That's good, okay to live on. But you got to think about taxes, and most people up here got to do overtime.
Right.
So they can eat up what little they have so they can get ahead. But if you think about people that stay, like, down south, like Florida, Georgia, and all them, they get paid the bare minimum $805.
Yeah. So up here, a bare minimum is 15,
Mm-hmm.
and you can live on 15.
You can make it
You can make it.
and still have a gig job.
Yeah. Because you could do your full-time job making 15, then do your gig job.
Mm-hmm. Do like 4 or 5
4 or
hours.
5, yeah. Right after work, start taking those deliveries
Mm-hmm.
when things start picking up.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Well, Crystal, you really opened up my eyes to a lot.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Well, thank you very much.
No problem.
Definitely. Is there anything that we didn't cover that you wanted to share?
No, it's just, just because this definition of homeless, people are, I don't call them homeless, I call them displaced.
Displaced.
Yeah.
What's displaced to you?
Yeah. They're not really in the place where they need to be, so they're displaced. Displaced at this.
Would you say you're displaced or homeless?
I say I'm displaced.
Displaced.
I'm not homeless.
You're not homeless.
I'm not homeless.
No. Well, home is where you are.
Yeah. Home is wherever you make it to be.
Right.
As long as you're able to take a bath, eat, change your clothes every day, God bless you.
Okay. So just give me a sentence of each. What does homeless mean versus what does displaced mean?
Displaced means somebody that doesn't have a permanent residence. Homeless means somebody that's sleeping on the street.
Got it. Awesome.
All right.
Thank you very much.
No
I
problem.
appreciate you.
No problem. Have a good day, young man.
Oh, thank you.